my shocked and stunned, like, wow, the show's starting look.
This show is starting. I was going to start and say something, but I didn't want to get yelled at again. So, I just figured I'd sit back and continue to share it out to all my wonderful pages that I'm a part of. Why, Steve over here introduces us.
And it's, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the It's All About the Barbecue Blackstone and Beer Network proudly presents to you another edition of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. I'm Steve Kress. I know. I'm Steve Kress. I am one of the hosts here. It's All About the Barbecue. During the day, during the week, you can find me at Wanamaker's in lovely, beautiful Downers Grove, Illinois. It's such a nice town. And the man sitting next to me, the chairman of the board, the Barbecue Blackstone and Beer Group, Mr. Ryan Hoagland.
Good pronunciation. I liked it.
You like that?
Welcome in, everybody. Thursday night is here again. It's 7 p.m.
Wow, I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
I can. I can. It's been a week. I can't wait for Friday. Let me tell you. Actually, I can't wait until 5 p.m. on Friday. But that's a whole nother story.
Well, Ryan, we had this week. I can talk about it now because I was a little upset earlier today because Ryan showed me pictures of this package that he got in the mail. And then I got home and I got a package too. And yes, if those of you who remember our show a couple of weeks ago with Brooke and Brad from the Shed, we said, send us some hats. And ladies and gentlemen,
it hangs on the nose if you have headphones on.
We got Brad hats. Look at it. It's even signed right there on the brim by Brooke and Brad. Perfect. Beautiful. So we're going to wear these today. And
I'm going to have to lose my headphones.
Well, it's not going to help anyway.
It does help for me, actually. So I gotta get under the beard here. Okay, there we go.
Oh my Lord.
See, Leslie in the background's laughing at us. But that's all right. These hats are awesome.
I know they're awesome. These are great hats. So we'll see these on the show. I'm going to wear these all over the place.
I feel like, what was the old cartoon? Little Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, no.
No?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, before we get started here, we got another great guest on the show.
And we're going to stay in Mississippi on top of it.
Yes. If you guys are looking for some great product, if you're not at Wanamaker's or you're local around here, barbecueproshop.com. 10% off your order or $10 more with the code CHAT10. CHAT10. We love it. Look at this. We got Terry White in here. Good evening, everyone. Ding, ding. Oh, AK Barbecue Man. How we doing?
Yeah, good to see him back in the show there. Tyler Jurgens is on. Good to see you, Tyler.
Yes. Look at that.
Hey, Vito.
It doesn't show him who it is, but he says, hello, boys from Vito. I like that.
Hey, Vito.
Guys, don't forget, if you are on Facebook, if you're watching on one of our Facebook groups, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, you can register your name for StreamYard. It doesn't cost you anything. It actually just shows your name. So instead of it saying Facebook user like Mr. Vito, because he put his name in there, which was awesome, it'll actually say your name like Tyler. And Tyler, I will be reaching out to you shortly to
Oh, Ryan froze. While Ryan's frozen.
You froze. We didn't freeze. I was still going.
Oh, well, you froze to me. But
right.
Anyway. Well, Ryan, we are staying in the great state of Mississippi because Mississippi is, well, Texas says it has some barbecue, and so do the Carolinas. But I can tell you, there's a lot of good barbecuers in Mississippi. So, without further ado, Mr. Hoagland, let's bring on Leslie from Ubon's Barbecue down there in.
The click of a button, it's just bam. There you are.
It's one of my favorite cities to say because it's Yazoo City.
Yazoo, you said it right.
Yazoo City, Mississippi. Can't say. I mean, how can you not be happy when you say a town like
Yazoo? Exactly. Do y'all know that my restaurant sits on Jerry Clower Boulevard? Have y'all ever heard of Jerry Clower? No, he's like old school comedian, was on the Grand Ole Opry, and he told he was sort of a contemporary of like Minnie Pearl and those folks. And anyway, he was from Yazoo City, and my friend Patrick Martin from Martin's Barbecue in Nashville told me one time His mama always said, if you can't act like Jesus, at least act like Jerry Clower. So yeah, I live in Yazoo City, and that was the home of Jerry Clower, and my restaurant's on Jerry Clower Boulevard.
I'm gonna have to look it up while we're chatting here because
our
I used to
Facebook
watch the
user
Grand
says-
Ole Opry.
Yeah,
Jerry
I mean,
Clower was
he's one
awesome.
of those guys. I mean, my dad actually worked with him, and he was a traditional storyteller. And my dad was absolutely inspired by him, and really kind of learned to spin a yarn from being friends with Jerry. So pretty cool.
We said a 4-H club president.
I wish I knew who these people were, who that was.
Yeah, I know.
I know,
I wish, guys, don't forget, if you back out, go to streamyard.com/Facebook, register your Facebook username for Facebook. Doesn't cost you anything. It just says your name on there, like Terry White says. I remember Jerry got to meet him in Nashville.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get into. A lot of times
AK Barbecue Man says Snooty's in the house. So, that's my buddy. One of my buddies, Big Country, Daniel Anderson, out of North Carolina. So you're talking about the Carolinas, and they're in here, so you can watch it.
Nice. Jerry Clower. I looked him up. He looks familiar. It's been a long time since.
Give him a listen.
My girlfriend Trisha was asking about it, but the name wasn't. I haven't watched the Grand Ole Opry in a long time, but I mean, how could you not know Minnie Pearl?
Right, right.
Yeah, so I remember her and Roy Clark and all those other guys.
Yeah. You're gonna listen, and I think you'll remember him.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Kick you back to your youth. So, hey, on a totally different topic, I spent last weekend set up next to the shed at Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans.
Nice.
I was gonna ask you about that because I did see that you guys were down there. How did your since we're starting with that? How did you guys do? How much money did you raise? And go ahead if you want to explain the Hogs with the
what
Cause,
it is. Yeah, absolutely. 15 years ago, Hogs for the Cause was created in New Orleans. There was a chef whose son was diagnosed with brain cancer, and some guys that were friends just got together, cooked a whole hog, sack of oysters, invited some people over, and raised like $3,000. By the third year, we joined, and we found a great cause and an okay contest. They had their hearts in the right place, but they didn't have like an organized body that came in. And so one of the guys on our team, Beeve, introduced them to MBN. And so they loosely follow MBN rules, but as I say, very loosely. But they have some organizers who know what they're doing. And so now the contest is like, it's no joke. It's a big deal. You got people, I mean, just world champions there this weekend. You had Nick Woolfolk, you had Nick Woolfolk's actually who won. He's Great Pigs in the Sky. He was with another contest with another group. The shed was down there. It was amazing how many people see the shed. It was amazing how many people are there and use what we know and love to do good for other people. It was incredible. But my mom also wore her Brad hat all weekend. So
yeah. Did I see Tim Shearer down there as well from Blues Hog or
Absolutely, yeah.
I think I saw a picture when I was looking through your pictures. I think I saw you with Tim Shearer.
Look, it's one of those things that it has grown to be just one of the biggest events out there. So it's everybody needs a good excuse to go to New Orleans, and this is a good one. So
nice.
Yeah.
Leslie, I didn't tell you before the show. I'm not like raising my hand to answer questions. If when you see me raising my hand, I have a pinched nerve.
So if I do it back to you,
yeah, you can do it back. That's what we all did. Everybody said it's time to stretch. That's what we were on with the shed. Actually, I have a pinched nerve in my neck. So yeah. 6 weeks now.
Well, anything that helps, pal. I'm in solidarity.
So I'm not like, hey, stop talking for a second. I got something to say.
Yeah.
No, I'm just stretching.
Well,
caught up here. Joe Heyer says, "Hey y'all." Terry White says Jerry was called the mouth.
Yes,
the
mouth of Mississippi.
And then AK Barbecue Man says it's a bucket list comp for him.
Yeah,
it's an amazing one.
That's a good one. Well, we talked about it when you were on the other show, and I think it's worthwhile talking about it again because, like Amy Mills, you are descendant of great barbecue person. I mean, obviously, Amy had the legend. You have your own legend, in your dad. And why don't you explain how he got into barbecue, and then how you got into it, and then we'll move on from that.
Absolutely, the origin story.
Yep.
Our family, the Roark family, came from the Boot Heel of Missouri, and my great grandparents they had like a barbecue culture. They would have like cook up side of beef or cook a whole hog, and my great grandmother made up this sauce, and so this sauce was passed to my granddad, and his name was Ubon. So that's where the Ubon's name comes from, was my granddad. In I think it was 86, my dad started making our sauce and putting it in bottles, and he would load up the back of his truck and drive all over the Mississippi Delta. And so in 89, he heard about a barbecue contest in Cleveland, Mississippi, and he decided he would go and do what he knew how to do, and that was cook a steak. And he had no clue that what he was even getting into. He gets there and he cooks a steak, and surprise, that didn't do anything in the anything but contest. But he met Pat Burke, he met Mike Mills, he met Boyd Atkinson, he met all these old guys that had been doing this for a little while, and they all gave him, they just lit the fire in him. That's just all there is to it. And he learned from anybody that would talk to him. And our family ate the worst barbecue in the history of barbecue while he
You
was
never
learning.
had Steve's though.
Well,
You've never had his.
well, tell me this. So Daddy always said, I don't know what a telephone pole tastes like, but I'm pretty sure that butt, like, even the dog was like, no, thanks, I'm out, So we ate some bad stuff, but I mean, are you really a barbecue pitmaster if you haven't cooked some bad stuff? That's just,
See, Ryan.
I mean, that's part of it. You don't come out the gate knowing exactly what to do. So, he started cooking really in earnest in 1990. And back then, Memphis in May required like a grand championship for you to even, get to go. And so he won his grand championship at the end of 1990. And we went to Memphis in May for the first time in 91. As you can imagine, let's see, I was 17 years old.
Ooh.
And as you can imagine, like, I was hooked, man. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. That wasn't like the contest that we had in Yazoo City, and at that point, I didn't let him go anywhere without me again. I truly didn't. I joined him. I started out doing like a presentation at the table for our ribs, and sort of the reaction to that was people would look at me as I did the presentation and look at Daddy to see if I was telling the truth. And so I kind of got tired of people looking to him to validate what I was saying. And so I started cooking the ribs my damn self. And, once they knew that I was out there at 4:30 a.m. and they saw me the night before doing my prep, and everybody knew that those were my ribs. So there was just really no question about it. We didn't even cook ribs until me and my sister, kind of started. So, and so in 92, I was the first female out there to win a grand champion on the Memphis circuit. So it was a state championship, the Possumtown Pig Fest in Columbus, Mississippi. I was the first, I'd call myself the first female grand champion. I don't know if there were any other chicks doing it back then, but yeah, I mean, once you start winning, you start having beers and you're hanging out with your best pal, your dad.
Yep. What more could you ask for?
Exactly. And that pretty much sums up my whole life.
Well, yeah, I mean, you think about that when you're talking about it, and you're talking about everybody looking to your dad for validation and stuff like that. we think of it now. You see so many women doing it that, I mean, back then I'm sure it was a boys club, and yeah, you were the rebel without a cause or a cause, I guess.
Absolutely. And that made sure that I had the dirtiest jokes, and so because I finally, all my dudes are like, okay, you can say anything in front of her because she's going to say something worse than you would ever say. So but back then it really wasn't that big of a deal because everybody knew I was out there doing it, and everybody knew that I was actually doing the work, and it was just Gary's daughter cooked those ribs. I always tease my daddy about being one of the first barbecue feminists out there, because he certainly helped. As soon as I was cooking them and sitting at the table, if somebody looked at him, he'd say, nope, she cooked them, and he would redirect them right back to me.
Nice.
And so he really, really enabled me to set myself apart. When we started, we watch barbecue. For us, we started doing catering and competition, and in 2003 my dad lost his job and decided to open the restaurant, and we opened that in 2004. And early 2005, like during Memphis in May, we were invited to go to the Big Apple barbecue block party in New York City. Somebody had backed out and they needed us to just kind of step in. And I mean, me and my daddy jumped on that so fast. We had no idea what we were getting into. And, what we found up there was just this outpouring of, like, just people loved barbecue, and they loved the culture. They loved that all of us, even though we didn't really know each other yet, kind of hung around together. And it was just, I had a friend of mine who was from somewhere in Europe, and she came to the block party, and she sat with our Ubon's family, and my husband had his guitar, and my daddy had his bottle of moonshine, and everybody's sitting and singing and all that. And she said, I haven't felt home in a long time, but this is what home feels like. And so what happened in New York City was that they got a taste of our community as a whole, and immediately that opportunity just led to, it was like a tumbleweed. I got to do a lot of Food Network stuff. Me and my daddy got to do some TV stuff together. I mean, it's been an incredible ride. It's been awesome. And to speak to all of the women that are out there now, holy cow, there are some amazing women doing some amazing stuff out there. It's exciting. It's really cool. Exciting. It's really, really cool.
It is nice to see, you start off doing something, I say it myself all the time, you start off doing something out of fun, and you look at the places that it starts to take you.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm not anywhere near the Food Network or anything like that, but
I got to go to Australia and cook at a festival there. Me and my cooking partner, the Barbecue Ninja, went, and we cooked some parties. We did some demos and classes. We cooked for a festival, and what we found was that American barbecue is embraced just completely over there. They're picky about it. They know as much about it as I do. I mean, that community's very invested over there. So it's pretty cool. Finds out that, smoke kind of unites all of us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's, speaking of, Brian had that comment up, that's my good friend, Mike Lip is the one who says that. Volunteered with him down in Port Charlotte, Florida, for the Hurricanes, and your OBR as well. So, but yeah, I mean, that's where I a little bit discovered that feeling here just with the local guys. But it's when I went and deployed in Hurricane Michael back in Panama City. That's where I actually saw that it's like, this community is nationwide. It's like you knew somebody for 6 minutes, 16 minutes, and then it's like you knew them for 6 years. I mean, everybody just bonded. Everybody had a great time, and then Where Leslie and I first met was at the Windy City 2 years ago. And you guys see the food on the outside, and the food for everybody is awesome. I mean, behind the scenes, I mean, it is like family reunion. I mean, everybody's just walking around and sitting and talking and having a good time and maybe having a beer or two back.
Maybe.
But no, I mean,
Maybe a Bloody Mary or something.
Huh?
Maybe a Bloody Mary or something.
It could happen.
It can happen. But yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, the barbecue community, and there's a lot of them out there. I mean, there's the steak community, but it's just an unusual. It's very family oriented.
Very,
it's kind of
very
strange. It's
family-oriented.
comfy.
Yeah, and very there's if you've got an example, we have a friend, Anthony DiBernardo, has Swig and Swine in Myrtle Beach, and he's in Charleston, South Carolina. His son Asher had a skateboarding accident and had a traumatic brain injury, and just watching the outpouring of support for him, restaurants took turns feeding the entire floor of the hospital where he was. Wow. And when he moved to Atlanta, there were restaurants in Atlanta that were just ready to jump right in and help. And I think that that's just kind of a common trait, is that we all have this talent and we all want to use it to take care of other people. And even if we're our tents are keeping us away from each other because we're competing one weekend, that's not the definition of who all of us are. I think most of us at heart are about the community, about the spirit of the flame, or whatever you'd like to call it.
Yeah, no,
I like that.
Definitely.
The spirit of the flame.
Thank you. I just made that up.
The spirit of the flame.
Remind me about it later. I'm gonna make a T-shirt.
Don't worry, I got it. I got it here.
You got it. Okay, good.
We'll send it out to Spirit of the Flame. Well, I mean, that's basically. I mean, Ryan and Ryan, you would take class. You took a couple classes at the store, and now I'm stuck with them a little bit. And
it happens.
And and we just have a good time together. It's part of the whole family type of thing, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah, we always definitely say barbecue is family, and it's
so true.
The barbecue world, the steak world, the pizza world, and now the griddle world.
Mr. Mike Mills used to say, "I bet the spaghetti people don't get together like this." Spaghetti people.
Pretty good. The spaghetti people.
Yeah,
that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point. I mean, when the tornadoes went through Yazoo, that was the first. First thing was I was like, oh, I got to message Leslie. I got to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody checking in on each other. If you know somebody in the areas, you always check in to see if everybody's okay. And
spaghetti people.
Again, I don't know if the spaghetti people check in with everybody.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though, they never invited me to their parties.
From one noodle to another, you're always invited here.
Yeah, right. You're always welcome here.
We'll connect our meatballs.
How did the picture up in the corner obviously is a picture of the Bloody Mary, and that's probably at least up here, that's your most famous product. There's
absolutely.
How did that come about? And I mean, how do you go from barbecue sauce and barbecue to Bloody Marys? I'm sure it's a great transition, or a normal transition. But
to me, I think once I tell you, you'll go, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. We always, most cooking teams have a hospitality drink. Mm-hmm. We have two. We have our Ubon special, which is bourbon, Sprite, pineapple. And then we have our Bloody Mary. And so I would get up Saturday morning and mix up our Bloody Mary mix. And I always used our barbecue sauce as part of my seasoning with my tomato juice and stuff. And so when we started, I met these guys. It was funny. We met on the street in New York City at the Big Apple Block Party. And you can fall in love over a pork sandwich. I mean, that can just happen. And we just became family over a pork sandwich. And over the course of, 5 or 6 years, they really fell in love with who we are and what we do. And so we bottled our sauce together and we went to market with that. And one of the things we found out is that every knucklehead with a bathtub has their own barbecue sauce recipe. And even if you get on the shelf, you got to figure out how to talk somebody into picking up your bottle versus a 97 cents bottle, or, you know. And so when we were going to food shows and selling barbecue sauce, we were making Bloody Marys using the barbecue sauce as one of our sample things. And so somebody finally said, "Why are you doing that? Why aren't you selling Bloody Mary mix?" And we were like, "Oh." And so
Why not?
it just happened. We my husband is he's a doctor and he's a chemist, and so he borrowed equipment. This is small town stuff. This is 100% why living in a small town and a small world is good. He called up where we went to college and said, "Hey, can I get some of your equipment?" And he brought home chemistry equipment, and he and my then 4-year-old created our Bloody Mary, our Bloody Mary, the first one, the barbecue one.
Yeah.
The barbecue one is not super spicy, and that's because it was based on my 4-year-old's flavor profile. But my 4-year-old would get on an airplane and say, "Could I have a Bloody Mary, please?" And I'm like, "You got to give the kid the Bloody Mary.
Right.
I mean, you can keep the vodka, but this is my tester." And so, so we just kind of, once we got it in a bottle, it was like everything started moving. It made sense for us. And we're up and down the East Coast. We're in Publix. We're pretty easy to find.
Yeah. No, I can just see the test tubes going of the different,
it was so cool.
of the different ingredients to make the Bloody Mary mix. So.
We one of the cool things we did, we had a request to get our Bloody Mary mix in a can, but they wanted it also to be gluten-free and vegan. And of course, Bloody Mary has a lot of Worcestershire, and Worcestershire has anchovies. And so that's not vegan at all. So we had to do a lot of work to come up with, how do you replace that flavor? So it's been interesting to just kind of figure out what different people like. And it's almost like, I'm partial. We don't have any preservatives. Our stuff is all natural. It's gluten-free. It's all the stuff, but it's also super thick. And so if you compare that to one of the leading products, you look at it and you can see through it. It's just sort of stained red. And so I think, once you start drinking it, you can almost feel that it comes from a heartier place, if that makes sense. Again, I make stuff up, Ryan. I already told you that. So.
Well, we got Damon on here, says the best Bloody Mary mix ever.
He's my cousin. He better say that or he's going to get a Uncle Sandwich.
Makes total sense now.
Put the AK Barbecue Man's comment back up too when you get up there. That's Mike.
The Pasta Cook-Off Association.
Oh,
the PCA.
I'm infiltrating.
The PCA.
Dude, let's get a team together.
And that's Mike Lip. He volunteers again with Barbecue Relief. So I think he met you guys last year.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Man, Mike's, we snagged a lot of those OBR volunteers. They are 100% trained. They don't go crazy with the portions, and they are ready to work always. Right. And so some of my group, I won't say all because I've got a really, really great group, but I have in the past had people who drank too much beer to pull pork, or drank enough beer that they didn't need to wear gloves to pull pork, where they were Superman. My husband's
they
a
watched
doctor,
him 2 days ago.
So he sews people up all the time. He carries a med kit because barbecue's dangerous.
It can be, yeah.
It can be.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't get to go last year. I plan on going to this year's Windy City. I didn't go last year, but I can tell you that Ubon's brings probably one of the largest contingents of participants for cooking that you probably will ever see for a 10 by 20 booth. There must be like 30 or 40 of them.
Well, so we are 16. There are 16 of us that are OG Ubon since jump. I have, of course, my family. My mom still travels with us, and my uncle and my aunt travel with us. My dad, after we lost my dad in 2018, we sort of, my uncle is a known hermit, and I basically shoehorned him out of, his forest to come drive my truck and drive me everywhere. So I've still got that part of my daddy with me and my Uncle Tim. But I've got the Beeve. The Beeve is my original hog cook. He and I met in 95, and he started cooking with us full time in 96. And he and his wife and his two daughters are always with me. And his two daughters, you got bossed around by one of them. If you were anywhere in the vicinity, I promise you got bossed by one of those two. And then the new guy on our team is the barbecue ninja, and he joined in 1998. So we do travel deep, but it's, and my cousin Damon that was commenting, Damon meets us there. We got lots of people that meet us there, and when they get there, they pay their own way to be there, and then they work their tails off while they're there because they love it. We love it. Y'all know we love it.
Oh, yeah.
You had some good turkey wings there. That's all I can tell you.
Those were good. Those were good. This past year we did our pulled pork sandwich, and we did pork skin nachos. It was pork skins with pulled pork and baked beans and barbecue sauce, and they were good. We sold a lot of pork skins. A lot.
So next time you're gonna have to try the pulled pork spaghetti.
Oh yes.
Yeah. See, there's something for that PCA. I'm telling you.
It started here on Thursday Night Barbecue Chat.
Leslie can be the boss of it. So
I'm down.
Show a picture of that. Show a picture, Ryan, of the Ubon's building there, because if that doesn't look barbecue, then that's
right.
That's
okay,
barbecue.
Y'all. So the funny thing is, since that picture, I've painted it green, and it's like the same color of the green. That's like the little algae that grows, so that if something grows, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's lovely green now.
There's just a little bit of humidity in Mississippi.
Yeah, just a
little.
Ever since I've been coming around to Wanamaker's and known Steve, he's always said Ubons, but it's Ubons.
It is Ubons.
I say Ubons.
So I'll tell you, my granddad was named Ubon Roark, and his mother named him after the doctor that delivered him, and the doctor that delivered him was named Ulysses Bond, and so she abbreviated Ulysses Bond to Ubon. So Ubon.
Well, I guess now I'm gonna have to.
Now you have to change it.
I have to
Utah,
change it
not Uber. I know.
Another one.
My partner one time said to somebody, "Do you say Utah? I mean, do you say Utah?" And they were like, "No, but I say Uber." And we're like, "Oh, Uber! You'll never get it back.
They'll never get
it
Uber.
It's Uber.
It's a Uber.
We'll ruin it for them."
Yeah. Maybe it is Uber, and we've been saying it all wrong this whole time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I learned it from Steve, so it's all his fault.
It's all his fault.
Right. Everything's always Steve's fault. So I was thinking of something to ask you, but I forgot what it was. Oh, I know what it was. I had to adjust the hat. The thought was stuck in the hat.
You had to let some of the heat out.
These things are, I don't know why Brad wears them. They're kind of warm.
Snug.
They're snug.
It's not easy being Brad.
No.
Well, we'll get to a second comment after this.
I don't have a couple beers in front of me either.
Did you happen to have car trouble going to Hogs with the Cause? I thought I saw a picture of somebody over an engine.
Oh my gosh, y'all. So like the craziest shit happens to us in the craziest of places. Do you remember I was coming to see you?
Yes.
And on the way to Chicago, on the way to you, we're just riding down the road and we hear this loud clonk, and then it feels like we're dragging something besides just our trailer, and we managed to limp the truck around to a Ford dealership, and my 4-wheel drive shaft had fallen off my stupid truck. And they just like pull it down, stick it in the back, and we're on our way again. But you know, it threw up me meeting you. So we were coming off the interstate in New Orleans, and we heard a pop, and my turbo quit working on my 250.
Oh, no.
And so we limped in and we got it seated. And my husband, when he got there, he drove it. And, you know, we were like, yeah, that's turbo. And my husband said, wouldn't it be funny if I opened the hood and it was just like something that was obvious? And no kidding, he opened the hood and it was like, boop. And so luckily we were able to, I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get 8 people back to Yazoo City, Mississippi in my 4-seat car? Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, right.
But he's added, so now he's not just a chemist and a doctor, he's also a parts specialist. So I'm telling you, he's invaluable. Everybody needs a doc.
Yeah.
Well, I you know, because I saw the video, I saw the of like everybody leaving the restaurant, running to go to Hogs with a Cause, and then I saw, as I was looking for pictures today, and I looked, I'm like, oh my God, did she have car trouble again?
Something happened. Well, it's the same damn truck. It's a 2011, so
okay,
it's beat up. It's like my mechanic said, you know, he was like, that's an original part from 2011. No wonder it broke. So
yeah,
you know, you got to have a big giant truck to do barbecue. You just have to.
I'm still driving a 2011.
It's perfect. Look, we just figured out that my cab had not really been attached to the frame on it for a while. I've been driving all over the world. So now that the cab's attached, it drives like a brand new truck.
What do you even say after that? Like,
just don't make a hard right turn or something.
No, you can now.
Now you can.
All right, guys, we're turning left up here in about a quarter mile.
Everybody lean. Everybody lean. Right.
Needless to say, my auto mechanic and I are great friends. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Look, I sent him a picture from I sent him a picture from Hogs last weekend of the engine, and I was like, do you think I can fix this myself? And my phone rang immediately. And he's like, do you want me to come there? So
he probably was hoping you'd say yes, so he can go to eat some barbecue.
Come and hang out with me. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I've said since I lost my daddy that one of the greatest things he's given me was friendships that we had already established. And, you know, people that it's amazing. Like if I need something, there's somebody out there that wants to help. And that's just a mighty fine, blessed place to be in your life.
So is this daddy here?
That is Ubon. That's my granddad.
That's granddaddy.
Okay.
That is Ubon.
Yeah.
He I don't know if you could tell, he always had a cigarette in his hand. And he always cooked with a lot of black pepper because he always had that cigarette in his hand. And if that cigarette ash happened to fall in, he had a little more black pepper and he got started. I come by all of my stuff honest, man.
Hey,
what'd you season that with? Oh,
a lot of black pepper.
Black pepper, a little ash from the charcoal.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's good though.
Hey.
Well, speaking of Brad, I don't know if you saw the video. Brooke Pro posted a video. Well, there's a picture on the Shed's website of them in all their smoking jackets, and Brad with the red suit. And you know, so speaking of first of all, in New Orleans heat, it's probably not really hot down there right now, but I'm just thinking of all these guys wearing these smoking jackets and Brad wearing this red suit. I'm like,
right.
How hot could you be with that thing on? Well, then they ended up posting a video of they did like a fashion show out of the back of the Shed's trailer of them all strolling down doing these like poses. I'm like, oh my God. I said, why am I not there? This is hilarious.
I wish that I could say it was just for the camera, but no, I watched all that go down in real time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
They had so much fun. Everybody there, everybody there had fun. It was just such a good cause. And you know, it just you don't even feel like you're competing against your friends. It's just like it's just It's one of my favorites. Have y'all done Memphis in May?
I have
Me
not.
neither.
I can't get it. May is the busiest time at Wanamamakers,
Oh, I
and I've been
bet,
trying for 4 or 5 years to try and figure out an excuse as to like maybe I could just go during like for like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but be
Right.
back to work for the weekend when it's the busiest. But I haven't come up with a good enough. Not only that, it's middle of May, which makes it
Right.
even worse because the closer you get to Mother's Day or that middle of May, it gets even busier because that's
Exactly.
up here in the north. That's technically the average time of the last frost up here.
Oh,
So that's when
right.
everybody runs in to buy flowers. I wish it was for barbecue stuff, but a lot of
Right,
it's for
right.
flowers. But so yeah, I have not. It's on my barbecue bucket list.
It's a good one. It's a good one. 2 years ago, my oldest is he's in culinary school in South Louisiana at Nicholls State University. And 2 years ago he was the valedictorian of his high school class, and it was a class of 12, so he better have been the valedictorian, right? So he we left on Wednesday and went to Memphis. We got everything set up. Thursday we hosted Home Depot and we hosted Royal Oak. Friday we started filming Barbecue USA with Michael Simon.
Yep.
Friday afternoon we drove to Yazoo City. He graduated, delivered his valedictorian speech, and we drove back to Memphis. So that's about 3 hours each way.
Yeah.
And we were back on site at 7 a.m. wearing microphones for the TV show, the next day. And we had talked at length about, do you want to go like do a midnight till dawn, do stuff that high school kids do? And he was like, no, I want to go win a world championship. And I'm like, all right, that's my baby. So he loves this stuff. He's in culinary school, and his plan is to, just kind of continue this tradition that my great grandparents and my dad, really started. So it's pretty exciting for me, as you can probably guess.
Yeah. I know we were talking about everybody strutting all their stuff and stuff, and AK Barbecue Man said I bet they were well hydrated. I'm for sure.
Always.
Yes. And then we got the only Blackstone baby. How we doing?
The Memphis in May, this year is going to be at the Liberty Stadium, and so that's on asphalt, and that's really tough. Memphis in May and asphalt's hot.
Yeah, there's a lot of
shoes.
There's a lot of stuff with that whole Memphis in May thing that we'll save for a different show, but there's a whole
let's let somebody else dig into that.
There's a lot going on. But I wanted to ask you though, is how far away, because obviously we have Brad and Brooke on, and then the shed has always been on my barbecue bucket list to always go to the shed. So my girlfriend Trisha and I are going to Florida in June, and I was looking at things, and on the way back, I think we're going to, instead of going straight up north, we're gonna head west, and I'm gonna go stop at the shed and see those guys and eat there. How far away is Ocean Springs from?
So I'm about halfway between them and Memphis. So
okay.
So I would suggest that you spend the night in Ocean Springs and eat dinner at the shed, and then eat lunch with me in Yazoo City. And then you could catch another world champion, John David Wheeler's restaurant, Memphis Barbecue, in Memphis. I mean, you said when we first started that there was a lot going on in Mississippi barbecue, but let's review. You've got John David Wheeler, and you've got Mark West, who's a world champion. You've got Heath Riles. You've got Malcolm Reed. Everybody knows Malcolm Reed. You've got the Shed. You've got Fireman John. You've got it's everywhere. There are world champions on every street corner in Mississippi. I'm telling you.
And yourself as well. I mean, Ryan, there's pictures of trophies there.
There's pictures of trophies. There's pictures of them.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is. There's a Memphis in May one right there. I see it.
Yeah, that's two. That's 3 Memphis and a Jack Daniels.
That's another one I want to get to too.
Oh, that one's fun. That one's fun. We've done that one like 5 times. In fact, I have an apron on my wall at the restaurant from the 3rd annual Jack Daniels competition. We were there for that one. That was back when they still cooked whole hogs as part of the Jack Daniels competition.
Oh, wow. There's
Yeah.
a picture of her cooking a whole hog. Ryan, I got it. I
get
did
there
find
one
it.
second.
He's stretching. But yeah, no, I was just going to say that when you were saying stay overnight in Ocean Springs and then come up and see you for lunch, I was going to say, well, geez, then I'm going to have to stop in South Haven because I'm going to have to go there to see John David, and because I volunteer with him with Operation Barbecue
Right.
Relief, and the Memphis Barbecue Company. Look at that. There's a whole hog in there.
So
look at
the
that.
guy with the guy with the beard, that's the barbecue ninja. That is my best friend and cooking partner, and he and I have cooked some stuff together. And the handsome gentleman on the other side is my son Jacob. And Jacob participated in prepping meat for the first time at Memphis in May when he was 9 years old. So it's in his blood.
I have no idea how old these pictures are. I was just before work this morning, I was sitting there going through either Ubon's or your pictures, trying to find pictures of that would be
just stuff out there.
And I have no idea how old some of them are.
So we got 4 years old making Bloody Marys and 9 years old prepping meat.
Right? I am giving birth to a dynasty.
Pretty much.
That's what I'm working
Pretty much.
on.
But yeah, no. So yeah, the Memphis Barbecue Company. I've been there. That's one of my favorites. Oh, you don't forget Melissa Cookston. She's down there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
from Nesbitt. Right. You've got Hank Vaden over in Columbus.
You got Mark Lambert.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all these dudes are south of Memphis.
Texas.
Yeah, well, who told me that? We were sitting there. You've probably been to the OBR camps at night, and you sit around, and I was sitting around with Nick Wolfork and we're talking, doing that, having our normal evening things, and he goes, "Did you know that county up there in Mississippi is the winningest county in barbecue in the country?" And I'm like. Yeah. I'm like, come on. I said, and then I'm like, then I did the same thing you and I'm thinking about it, and it's like, oh yeah, Heath Riles is there, Lambert's there, Nick's in the area, and then you got Melissa Cookston, and I'm like, dang. There's a lot of there's a lot of barbecue.
It's a lot. And then, outside of, people don't think of Mississippi as its own region, and I just kind of started doing some research, because for me, all barbecue originates in the Mississippi Delta, but that's just my origin story. I know it's not everybody's, but for me, it comes out of there. And so I've tried to do my best to find what defines Mississippi barbecue. And I'm still working on that. I think it's going to come down to the smoke. In a lot of ways, that's what defines Texas barbecue, and Mississippi leans heavily on our smoke. We like our hickory, we like our pecan, and I think a lot of people would say that that's kind of the defining thing for us.
Yeah. Well,
again, Ryan, I make stuff up.
I know. You're talking about the smoke, and we had Facebook user here said everybody have a fun night talking about spaghetti, and everybody keep on smoking it up. That smoke just rolled right in there with that comment.
Smoked spaghetti. There's nothing wrong with that.
Smoked spaghetti.
Yeah, that was Mike Lip, and he's on my. I can see for some reason I can see it on my phone, but it doesn't show up on the screen here. But so that's. It looks like I'm gonna have to relook at my return home plans for June again. So it looks like
really.
I might need an extra day.
Might need an extra
day.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with an extra day when you're eating barbecue. That's all I can tell you.
I was gonna say in May, if you're looking for an excuse, it could be the anal glaucoma. You can call in work with anal glaucoma, and Leslie's going, what?
That might work.
Well, you know what glaucoma is, right? So anal glaucoma is I can't see my ass coming into work. There you go.
Isn't weed legal there for that?
Yeah, well, weed's legal. Weed's legal. Yeah, weed's legal here. And
so you can do that for your anal glaucoma.
Jesus. Here we go, Ryan. The show's just taking that right turn. That
we got 10 minutes.
Happen when I'm around. It's just how it is.
I know. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have. I mean, last week Burton Young from the W Sauce brought up that he wrote a book called The Cocks of Key West because, and then God, now that was the theme of the whole show was, you know, thank God Ryan
He did though. It's the cock.
he did have a book, and it was actually the roosters.
Those chickens are beautiful.
Yeah, it was the roosters of, but you know, needless to say, there was many of puns after that.
Yes, there was. Look at that. We got Skinner Farms in here. How you doing, brother? And then now this is barbecue chat. I don't know who it is. But there's Ryan, Leslie, Steve.
Steve's always in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Skinner Farms. So yeah. So any big besides Memphis and May? You're doing Windy City right this year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was going to say I know it's one of your favorite things to do, and I just
it
was like,
really
God,
is. I've kind of set myself up a sort of where I'm able to go do like the stuff that I really enjoy doing and the stuff that I really believe in. We're going at the end of the month up to Pig Beach in Queens, New York. We do a fundraiser there that supports families of chefs that you know where the chef has died early. One of their original pit masters, Jeff Mishner, died really young in his early 30s. And so the foundation that's named after him, we raise money every year. I'll get to do that. I'll get to go in the fall to Holy City Smoke. It's a fundraiser in Charleston. And we do a fundraiser in Hilton Head Island. So I just pretty much show up, cook some chicken wings, smile, listen to some music, hang out. I mean, that's like the greatest life ever, right?
Yeah.
God damn right.
Day for me.
Now, what did you say? Who is the gentleman that owns the place in Charleston? What was his?
Anthony DiBernardo is his.
Is he in the Charleston one often, or is he?
He is. That's where he's from.
Okay, because I'm actually heading to Charleston in actually 2 weeks.
Oh,
so
there's
I may try may have to swing in through that.
Please do.
Swip and Swine.
Swig and Swine.
Swig and Swine. Okay.
Yeah, please do. He would love that. I tell you what, in Charleston, I am unashamedly somebody who will finish my stuff and go to my hotel room and order Uber Eats. And I will gladly do that every night that I'm gone somewhere. And I got Uber Eats. I ordered Rodney Scott barbecue on Uber Eats. And by all rights, it should have been okay. Y'all, that was the best pork sandwich ever. I thought, okay, this cannot be this good. I'm going to save it for later. I'm going to come back and I'm going to see if it's this good. And it was, even after like being rolled up and put in the fridge, it was so good. So yeah, you're going to be hard pressed.
And this is from somebody that makes some good pulled pork sandwiches. And she thinks
I know my way around a pig.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to say, because I'm going to stop. I can't think of the name of the place. I was there last year because my son Kyle goes to the Citadel. So we were there last fall for his ring ceremony. They all got their rings, which is for the Citadel. It's a long story to explain. It's not his class ring. It's a big, huge honor to get your ring from the Citadel. It's actually almost like a wedding ring. It's like right now they're wearing it backwards or something until they graduate. Then they get to turn it around and wear it forward so the letters face. There's weird traditions for it. It's actually really cool. But so he graduates and on May 4th. So that's why we're heading down there. And I can't think of the name. We went to one barbecue place there when we were there last time. I can't for some life of me think of the name of it. I think it started with an L, but I can search it really fast to probably find it, but no, it was really good down there. And then Rodney Scott, I just didn't have enough time. There was a Rodney Scott that I did want to do Swig and Swine last time but now that I actually know it's somebody that's in barbecue family that I'm going to have to go in and throw names around.
Absolutely. Anthony would love that.
One of Steve's specialties.
Throwing names
I'm
around.
good at it too.
Well, I mean, it's like family. And so it's just like, hey, it's like brothers and sisters, like, hey, you know, cousin, second cousin, third cousin, Leslie down in Mississippi. Well, I'm her friend from up north with a brother, and, you know, twice removed, 7 times under. And yeah, I mean, so it's just a great, there it is. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Lewis Bars. Yeah,
yes.
their brisket was really good.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
And then
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
else, I'm going to throw it up here real quick, says they can't wait to see you in Windy City Smokeout.
Oh, that is all of our good friends. That's Mr. Brian Weeze Cahoon.
Ah, Weeze.
Weeze, good old Weeze. Yeah,
Good
so
old
Weeze.
Weeze.
Yeah, Weeze is a good guy. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, Windy City Smokeouts let me meet some wonderful people from that part of the world that I don't know that I would have met otherwise.
Yeah. Now I'm one of them because I don't think I would have even.
Who knows? But
I just saw you.
Linking back around to what we were saying. I mean, it's all about that sense of community and that family. We this past weekend at Hogs, we have a friend who flew from Melbourne, Australia, just to spend the weekend with us at Hogs for the Cause. And we were talking about how, he says barbecue family, and maybe people sort of understand what that means, but in our case, it means so much more than just people that we hang around and cook meat with. That's people we spend our lives with and our love. And so I mean, it's a great community for us to be part of.
I mean, I don't really love hanging out with Steve that much, but it's all right. I mean, most of them, it's good.
You keep doing it though.
No,
it's only once a week on the show. People seem to like the banter of. Little do they know it's real. It's not really banter. It's real.
And we'll start talking about smash burgers,
Oh,
I like these hats. Maybe now we need like something from Ubon's. We'll start like building a collection.
Agree. I have some t-shirts. I have one that says "Finna Eat," and I have one that says "Meat Sweats."
I
like meat
sweats.
I like meat sweats too.
I had them today because I had Station 1 for lunch today.
Oh, that's a local barbecue place up here, and it's awesome. And he showed me. Well, after he showed me the picture of the hat that he got, that I had not received any kind of notification from the apartment complex that I had a package. Then he sent me a picture that he was also at Station 1, which is one of my favorite barbecue places in the Chicago area. So he was just like, and he was really needling it in. Like,
wow, Ryan, how dare you?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Well, I'll message you. I'll give you the addresses, and we'll get some. Then we'll just start a collection of show memorabilia.
For sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Got to.
We're gonna get the
wow. What else?
Hour
You
went
got?
by quick. No, yeah, Damon came in and says, "Wheeze."
Wheeze, yeah.
And then
Everybody
Facebook
knows Wheeze.
says, "What's up, everyone?" Not sure who it is, but hello.
I don't have that one.
Damon has a barbecue nickname. We call Damon Crazy Legs, because he'll be standing there just talking to you, and then that one knee starts jerking, and then all of a sudden he's dancing like a hippie girl at a Grateful Dead concert.
Hippie girl.
Oh,
He
sorry,
knows
Damon.
it's true.
That just got bookmarked right there because that's going on the highlight.
That's going on that's going on the video. Yeah, and he's laughing. He's agreeing, so it's not like he's disagreeing with it. So
no, he's our one faithful viewer that's still in here right now. Oh no, we got two.
I'm his favorite.
Look, there's gonna be more in there. I don't know. I don't think these counters are ever right, but anyway. So, wow, an hour went by. Leslie, thanks for coming on again.
Thanks,
it's
y'all,
always good
guys.
to talk to you and catch up. And like I said, it's just like family talking to family again, and it's great to see. And then everything is okay down there, and everybody's happy, and the restaurant's doing good. And I can't wait to see you guys in the whole Ubon crew up there in
Ubons.
July. Ubons and
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. That's what
Hey,
I
Ryan,
call
are
Uber.
you coming to the Windy City Smokeout?
I will. We'll talk to Steve and I'll see what I can do.
Please do.
Yep.
Please do.
That'd be awesome.
We'll figure something out. Actually, I think this year, I have been talking to. Usually, I go with Barbecue Relief, and I still might go with Barbecue Relief. But I think I've been talking to Mr. Shear, and I think I might be working. I might help the Blues Hog crew if
That
they're
would
coming
be
up.
fun.
I don't know if they're.
They're
I don't know
such
if they're
a great group.
Yeah, I don't know if they finalized yet, but I might go and cook with the. Which of course I'll be all over the place, but I mean I'll go cook with the Blues Hog people, and then so
the Blues Hog people are kind of part of the same traveling circus that I am, so I love those folks.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
all right.
Damon,
Well,
Damon said Chicago's a great time. And then my good buddy Cooking with the Schmidt says, "What's up, peeps? I'm here. I said it was 8 p.m. your time,
Your
not
time.
8 p.m. our time. You're coming in at the end of the show, bud.
Well, that's why it's on recording, so you can come back and watch this. Great, another great show. Leslie, is always great to see you, and we'll have you on again. Oh, you know what? We're gonna. I was actually talking to. Here we go. I'm starting a whole nother story again, and I know it's the hours up. No, I think we're gonna do a. I'm getting hot. Can you tell me?
I
don't wear too many hats. No,
I was talking to Craig. It's a barbecue medium hat.
Yeah,
tell you.
It is. It's really. I'm trying to stretch it out. That's why I got it down so far. Trying to stretch it out.
Wear it like this.
I talked to Chris Carter, and I think we're going to do the Thursday of Memphis in May. Obviously, is a show day, and I think we're going to patch in Chris Carter and Craig Carter. I said Craig Carter. And he's going to do the shed, and maybe I can get him to walk around, and we'll find the
that would be so
Ubons
cool
thing, and
I'm hoping we're close to each other. That's the
that would work out perfect. So I was going to try to do a Memphis. I try to do as we get closer to Memphis in May. I try to do Memphis in May shows, and then I was talking to him about something, and I said, "Oh, we should go patch in." Just for whatever, a moment live at Memphis in May, and you can walk around
just
with
to be able to see it, so that your viewers know what it's like, because it's hard to describe.
No, Ryan, you didn't get any more hair.
No, I don't have more hair. I just got the red line.
I don't think I have a red line, but it flattened out. It flattened out my spikes, so now I got.
Okay. Anyways,
get those back.
Yeah,
I just need to get the wig so I can have Brad's hair hanging down.
Those should be like the next hats where it's just sewn
exactly.
It's sewn in, right? They have the Brad hat with the Brad hair. All right.
Well, yes, Leslie, thanks for coming on. It's been a great hour. It's been fun. It was definitely nice meeting you, and then hopefully we'll get to see you in Chicago here.
That sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you, Leslie. Have a good night.
Night.
Man,
what a great show, Ryan! Another great show.
Great shows this year.
Wow,
awesome.
Let's not jinx it and hope that it keeps going. But so far 2024 has been right on. I mean, look, we got these great hats. We're gonna have Ubon shirts. We're gonna be. I said Ubons.
I know. By the time
I
when the city smokeout comes, we'll have you saying Ubons for sure.
I gotta get it put something heavy on it.
David Fogg coming in here at the end. What's going on, Foggy? But guys, it's been a great show. It's another hour gone by on Thursday night. We're here every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Whether if I can make it or can't make it, or Steve can make it or can't make it, one of us will be here.
Somebody will be here. Heck, even sometimes Michelle might be running the show herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know. We didn't get a where is
You know what? He never responded to if he wanted to come on tonight. So we didn't do a "Where in the World is Mike D" today. He didn't respond. I asked him, "Are you going to be on tonight?" Because sometimes I guess he's working or do whatever he's doing, and he didn't. So Mike D it's still up in the air.
Yeah, we don't know where he's at this week, so we couldn't find him.
Nobody could find him. Yeah. So anyway, we don't have a guest for next week. We're working on that. We'll see what we can come up with, and then
go from there.
And as like I said, as we get closer to May, we're gonna start doing some Memphis in May shows. Some people that actually are going to Memphis in May, and not that Leslie wasn't going to Memphis in May, but I'm working on trying to get some Memphis in May people in here to talk about what they go through and stuff like that. So we'll see what we can do, and then we're gonna try and do that show that Thursday night with Craig Carter from right in Memphis in May not during any competition action, obviously, but
right.
So
all right, y'all. Have a good one.
Everybody be nice to everybody. Be good. And
it's the shortened version. Be nice. Shop small, shop local. Be patient.
Shop small, shop local. Everything's gonna be getting busier. Everybody have a good time. Please be patient. Please be kind. Please be courteous. And after all, tip your servers. And let's just be nice and start spreading the love. I love you, Ryan.
I love you too, Steve. Bye, everybody.